Hi everyone, just want to do a quick intro to this video before we get started with training. I won't drone on too long. I have talked over a short training session that I did with Ralph, or two short training sessions I did with Ralph. That is because I've realised that I'm not very good at talking and training a dog. Hopefully I'll get better at that, and my future videos will be a bit more of that, but for the moment we're doing it this way. This is a very basic way of training a spin or a twist. It should be enjoyable for your dog and should be quite simple. A couple of notes that I would just take into consideration before you get started. I would warm your dog up, so if it's a short walk, if that is doing a couple of recalls in the garden, whatever that might be, you are going to be moving them in a slightly abnormal position, so it's best to get their muscles warmed up before you start. I wouldn't do too many spins without doing a twist the other way. I have only shown one way in this video because I just wanted to keep it simple, but I would try and balance your spins with your twists. So if you do 10 spins, do 10 twists as well, just so that they're not working one side of their body over and over again. If you have a dog with any mobility issues or an older dog, this might just be a trick that you just leave and just don't bother with it. It doesn't matter, do something else. Just don't put your dog in any sort of positions that might be uncomfortable for them. Certain breeds of dogs might also find this a little bit challenging. If they look like they don't like it, just stop. But I hope it's useful. I hope you have fun training your dog, and any questions, just chuck them in the comments. Yeah, let's get going. Just high value treats always. I use pet pate, but anything that's high value to your dog, cheese, ham, anything like that. I'm using a clicker in this video. I like clickers because they're just a clean way of letting your dog know that that was what you're after. So it's always behaviour, mark and reward. So you can use a clicker. Alternatively, a good yes or good, just to let the dog know that they've done the right thing, will also work. So whatever works best for you, and we'll get into the video. Thanks. Okay, so I've got my clicker and my high value treats, which is pet pate. I'll put a link to what I use in the description. And then I'm just going to start off by warming Ralph up with a couple of lures. So I'm just warming him up in a straight line, not asking for any spins or twists at the moment. I'm only going to do one video, and that's going to be going one way, which is counterclockwise or round to the left. The principle is exactly the same for the other way around, so you can literally just repeat it. Ralph's just getting a bit overexcited there and fell backwards. So now we're going to start. So he's gone backwards following the law. I'm now going to start moving him around in a circle. If your dog isn't following you all the way around, then just start off by doing kind of quarter rotation. So even if it's 90 degrees, 180 degrees, just until you get to the point where they're going to reliably follow your hand around with food in your hand. So Ralph's done this pretty quickly. He is used to following a law, so that practice has come in handy. So now I'm removing the law from my hand, and now he's just following my hand. So there's no food in there. Click and reward. Just really important to time your marks. So when you want to be clicking at the right time and making sure that the dog knows when they've completed the behaviour. So I'll try and click now so that the dog has made a full 360 turn, and I can let him know that that's what I was after. If I did have a dog that was only doing 90 degrees or 180 degrees, I would start off by clicking that, and then I would gradually move that around. So we start rewarding further around the circle with multiple repetitions. Just doing a few more repetitions with Ralph here. I've sort of moved my hand up and started the process of trying to get him moving without me having to kind of bend all the way over and make big circles with my hand. So we're just sort of starting to fade that physical cue a little bit. So I'm now confident that I'm getting reliable repetitions from him, using both food law and without a food law, and him just following my hand. So I'm going to introduce my verbal cue now. So I'm going to start asking for a spin. The order of this is important, so it needs to go spin, then the hand moves, then you click to mark and reward when they complete the behaviour, and then the food comes quickly after the click. So yeah, just make sure you're sort of conscious of the order of things. So verbal, then physical, then mark, then reward. And yeah, lots of practice. I'll always say this, but short sessions are better. I'll show you in a minute that he starts to kind of get a little bit bored, so he looks quite engaged at the moment. And we've only done a short session, you can see the clock in the background, but he starts sort of jumping up, and I can tell he's getting a little bit sort of bored of the activity, so we take a little bit of a break here. Both Ralph and I have never done any kind of dog sports, any agility training, and this little trick is just that. It is a trick. You can couple it up with other behaviours, and I've seen some people online with their Malinois doing recalls into spins between their legs and stuff, which is amazing, and maybe it's something that me and Ralph will practice one day. But yeah, this is meant to be fun, so I've just taken that time out there to just give him a stroke and make sure he's still enjoying it. So this is where I make a bit of a handling error. So you see I just sort of waved my hand towards him there, and it just didn't give him the space to be able to spin. So just be mindful of how you move in your body. We all make mistakes. So after he was jumping up, I kind of felt like he'd had enough. So I stopped it there. This is the next day, and we're just doing a little bit more practice. So I didn't bother with the luring warm up this time because I was confident that he got it. I just went straight into some spins, but with food in my hand. So we started from kind of step 2 or 3. As you can see, just doing some repetitions. Slightly different environment, still very quiet, still no distractions. I would take this out and do this on walks and stuff when you're confident that you've got kind of reliable repetitions, but it is just a case of continuing to practice this. Do it daily, a couple of reps a day. Ideally you would do a couple of spins and then a couple of twists, so go one way and then back the other way, just because you don't want your dog constantly moving one way. It could be bad for them sort of physically. Just tried a couple here, just with sort of a very minimal physical cue, which he got a very loose spin there, which was good. Just the main thing is he's kind of getting the idea of what am I asking for when I say spin, and eventually I won't need the physical cue, or it'll be a very small physical cue. So just doing the last couple of reps here, just finishing up the practice session. So like I say, I've edited this video a little bit, but it was a very short session. Just went for one here, which was a little bit... See, he actually does the spin. It was a very, very loose sort of spin on my behalf, and he still sort of went round. And then I thought I'd just practice a couple of sort of tighter ones just to get him sort of quick and keeping his body close to him. So I'll just say to him one more, and then he gets it. Thank you very much. Subscribe for more free dog training videos. Appreciate you all.